Got a bit of action here. Song of the Sea comes out from Bubbles. Pyro stuns on towards Cemented Shaman, but the heals come out and he's just able to get right back up. And Bubbles goes down, so maybe a bit of a miscall. It did look tempting. Demented Shaman nearly actually going down there, just because of the quick burst damage and catching him off guard, but didn't work out. Corrupt Disciple is going to come down. He's just going to wait here and tower dive on anyone that seems to TP if anyone actually comes in. And yeah, that's a bit of bad luck for the guys at 4seasons, but yeah, here we go. We got Polywalk coming in. We've got a port here coming in also from Bubbles, who isn't level 6 just yet. It'd be really beneficial if he had. They're going to go in on the burst damage on Poly, and he's just going to go down there. Maybe if he played a little bit more passive there and a bit more further back in a defensive position, he could have survived and held off the tower a bit more. It might go down in this skirmish. We've got all 5 from Hellborn going down. Jokes, of course, playing this roaming game of 5 players when they hit their certain levels every time I've seen them play. Keeper of the Forest dismantling his own jungle above, and there is an arrow. It hits Corrupted Kraken right in the face. Corrupted Disciple puts off his burst damage. Nothing's going to come of it. The two are just facing up against one another, and Poly's going to walk all the way back as far as he can. Corrupt is just going to sit there. Valkyrie, of course, not Corrupted Disciple. Both teams just buying their items as they are. It's a pretty even game, even though we've got a favour of 2-0 towards the Hellborn side and a tower towards Legion. We've got an arrow here straight onto Soul Reaper. They're going to try and burst damage. He does go down. Bubbles has hit level 6. He gets down his Seaweed. They're able to go down on him. Polywog's wards come out. They're chasing. They're running away from him. Hellborn are just going to back away here as far as they possibly can. And Corrupt Disciple just survives here, but Bubbles comes in, cleans him up. A Curse tanking himself here. Polywog grabbing onto Kraken. Frey looks like he's going to go down point blank with Valkyrie's Javelin, and he does. Bubbles able to escape the way from there with a Curse just in the nick of time. Looks like Soul Reaper's going to go in here. He might actually go down on Valkyrie. No, he just misses out on the prize. So the game is slightly switchy. We've got 4-3 in favour of the Legion side in that teamfight scenario. 4 going down for in favour of Legion. Only 1 death, capitalising off the Hellborn side there. So it has kind of gone in favour of Legion side in terms of experience and gold. Bubbles is having a bit of a roam here. He's just going to keep his eye out. He has already put down his kelp field, or seaweed as I like to call it. Phoenix Wave comes out from Pyro. He's just going to try and scare them, but Soul Reaper heals up. Tower does go down. A bit of a deny opportunity there from Bubbles, but just missed. Demented Shaman going to push off. Pyro doesn't actually have any backup here, but the guys aren't going to be able to turn around and jump on him. So the lanes have reset at top. We got Valkyrie aiming up against Kraken. Kraken just sitting around. Valkyrie on 9 has decided to go for an Iron Shield. Morph comes out from Poly, leaves him rentless to the Javelin and the Tongue Tie. Good chains there from the 4seasons guys, and Kraken goes down there being caught off guard. I'm not sure if Kraken does have a charge, but wasn't able to respond in time and goes down. We've got a TP up top from Corrupted Disciple. He's just going to defend the tower. At mid lane, a bit of action. They're going to go deep on towards Pyromancer with the heals from Soul Reaper. Tower looks like it's going to go down as well, unless Poly, of course, can deny it. No. Jokes doing what they do best, roaming as a complete team from tower to tower as they usually do on the first tier towers, and just trying to get that gold advantage up as fast as they possibly can on their opponents. Looks like we don't have much of a response from the Legion side, just with Pyromancer coming on that second tier tower, and that tower looks like it's going to go down here without much of a response. Unless Poly's going to come in. Yes, they are. They actually are going to first in the last tenth of that tower. The wards do come out. They're able to Pyro with a perfect stun there on Kraken and also Shaman, catching them both off guard with Voodoo's wards placed perfectly in between and just nailing those guys away. Tower did also get denied, so point a match towards Legion there. Another advantage and another skirmish going towards the 4seasons, whose bad lineup. TP's coming in from Shaman and Kraken, just getting in each other's ways. Looks like they're keen. Corrupted Disciples also decided to come down. He's put his Conduit on towards Volk, who's just jumped out of it in the nick of time. Just having a look at the items here. Pyromancer has been opted to play the hard support. Looks like he doesn't actually have any items at all. He's just got his ward, health pot, and also a TP. Going in action. Only has $200, so he's not actually saving up. He's just warding as hard as he possibly can. Looks like we've got a bit of ancients here going on with Soul Reaper. Just downing them as he does. Healing himself away, getting up that experience with his illusions. Just want to have a look at Keeper's items out of curiosity. He has decided to go Alchemist Bones. And Ring of the Teacher, of course, being a usual suspect of any jungling hero, usually, like Ophelia or even Wild Soul, just to give that aura damage and also armor towards his allies where he pushes in situations, as he can do so by himself. And was going to say he was going to opt for a push here by himself, but looks like the boys from Jokes are going to come down on him here, and he's just going to put up his options here and decide to middle away back into the jungle amongst his Ents, while the rest of the Legion side are going to push top. TP is coming in. It's a single TP. He's going to get caught off. It's a bit of untimely here by the Hellborn side, coming in one by one. I really thought Legion could have capitalized on that situation, but kind of scared him off with that first TP coming in. Looks like the entire Jokes team have decided to come in. Meanwhile, Keeper's going to take advantage of this and push as far as he can on that towards that first tower here. So that's, you know, the whole team's decided to TP their way up there as they've roamed. And I reckon Debug is going to be able to get his first tower here just by knocking away. Hellborn side have decided to come all the way down. Now they're playing really aggressive, leaving Legion in an option just to decide to back all the way, as they should do in this situation. Meanwhile, Keeper's going to push his way into the lane, and got a bit of a pause, so might stop for an intermission break for a second here. Just going to go grab a quick drink. Be right back with all the action. And we're back after a short intermission break. Action, of course, going down here. Soul Reaper is going to dive as hard as he possibly can, but decided to back here. Meanwhile, James, playing on Debugger, Keeper of the Forest, just going to knock that tower down as just a couple of minutes ago, before the pause, the entire Hellborn side decided to TP top in defense against the Legion side. It looks like he's going to go for 2 towers. A bit of greed here, but he can do it. No response from the Hellborn side, where they're just going to have a stalemate here at the tower. Bit of action going on here. Kraken puts out his wave and he's able to get on his ult on towards Polywog. Not before he can get out his wards, of course. Oh, looks like Pyro's able to get his TP out of there. Keeper of the Forest has decided to come in, puts off his ult, catches everyone into it. Bubbles also coming out. Kelpfield coming out already, so he's not able to do anything from it. Polywog has decided to buy back. Is that right? I'm not 100% sure. He's back in the action pretty fast, as he's come straight back into it with a TP on his own tower. Pyro has put down his stun. Phoenix waving towards Kraken, going to go toe-to-toe with Soul Reaper against Bubbles, who just survives on the nip of his last sip of the bottle. Phoenix Wave comes out, juked hard by Noobcake, who's going to get cornered anyway because he's got a tower on the other side, nowhere to go. Polywog and Pyro are just going to go into him here and clean him up. That was a really good juke situation. It was just unfortunate that the tower was still up and Wog's wards were as well, so would have been a bit of an epic escape there, but as I've seen Cake do on many occasions with these escapes, so yeah, he's just a bit of unlucky there. And of course another fight going inside of the Legion side here, as they weren't able to get that second tier tower in the bottom lane. They were able to knock it down to about half HP. Gonna have a blink here, of course, from on the rune. Looks like Polly might go and pick it up himself. Bubbles has a bottle as well, so yeah, Polly looks like he's going to pick it up, or he's not able to see it. He will be able to see because of the ward. Looks like they're just going to go down and towards Corrupted Disciple here, who might get caught off guard. Polly will going to round up around the back. Keeper has decided to put him back. I'm not sure what the call was there. Maybe a bit of miscommunication. I think if Polywog went around the back and tongue-tied him, chained him with his morph, I think they could have really downed him there, being by himself. Bit of action at Kong. It looks like the whole Hellborn side are just going to sit around here and see their opportunities. But there is a ward by Legion side, just giving them a bit of sight over towards the river here. Not going to be able to Kong at this stage, unfortunately, with their healing lineup. Just having a look at the items as Bubbles picks up his port key. Going to be really beneficial there on the initiation. Just able to get on the action, put his Song of the Sea up, silence his foes. Looks like Kraken was deciding to pour bottom here, but he wasn't able to do so as a stun comes out from Valkyrie, and the whole reason for that was because the Hellborn side were defending that bottom tower. And it looks like, you know, Corrupt decided to play the either a panic situation or thought to himself they could get that tower just as easily if they put Kraken in his place by going in on him. Looks like Bubbles has decided to go in and port it all the way back. I'm not sure if that would have been the best case of action, but playing a bit passive. Doesn't have to play overly aggressive. He does have the advantage of his team being up in this situation.